First off, Anthony Barnes, General Secretary for the Salvation Army here in Southern California, and very excited just to be a part of this effort. There's a wealth of knowledge that was shared with us today, and hopefully there's something that you can take back with you for whatever your arena is, that you can figure out, how do I put in to the effort that's happening to serve those folks in the margins of society, to serve them better. I want to start with a few thank yous. First, all the panelists, thank you so much for just sharing of yourselves and your expertise. Huge thanks to, our sponsors. I'm thinking, Anthem, thank you so much. Board members, the LA Metro Advisory Board, which just really pours into this event and just supports the Salvation Army in such a great way. So thank you all, led by Andrea. We just look at you and we say thank you so much for hurting all of the cats. We really appreciate it. I was talking about that. I didn't even get to the rest of the board. Thank you to Gibson Dunn and Crutch for hosting us here today. Steve, thanks for having me. To Craig Martin, to Occidental Entertainment, thank you, Craig Darian. Thank you so much for the support. Chris Coleman, Dan Savage, Mayor Bass, who came out and just really exploded right here. I feel honored to even stand on the spot now where she stood and be able to share with some level of excitement that she shared with. And there's just a million other things we want to give, but at the end of the day, as we close today's symposium, I want to leave you with essentially with a vision, one that transforms numbers into purpose, challenges into a call for action. So just bear with me for a minute as we wrap this thing up. I want to thank you, each of you, for taking time out of your day, because you could have been a million other places, but you chose to be here and to contribute to what's going on. And for that, we are thankful to call you, here's another plug, a Hope Ambassador. Thank you for being a Hope Ambassador. A Hope Ambassador spreads awareness and advocates for a cause. So that's what you are. And we want you to continue to do that. So as discussed earlier, we have these bags that you'll grab on the way out. There's little bags in them. The kids, I don't have to re-explain them again. Lisa did an amazing job. Put them in your trunk. Everywhere you go in the city, I wish that wasn't the case, but we're doing things about it. Everywhere you go in the city, you're going to find one of our neighbors in need that you can give that back to help them with their immediate needs, but also with the sustainability we've been talking about all day. There's a contact in there that if they desire to do so, they now have the information to get the help that's needed, not just the help just for today, but for the long term. So please make advantage of that. We've heard some great and hopeful information today. I want you to just remember the greater Los Angeles area, we are seeing progress that's worth celebrating. There's so many challenges, but I want to point out we're seeing progress that's worth celebrating. In 2025, homelessness in Los Angeles County is showing us that we're having a measurable decrease. I wish the numbers were huge, but I want to celebrate the numbers that are. I mean, we heard a 3.4% reduction, and really what I'm looking at is not just the folks that are on the street, but also recognizing that we have people that are being sheltered, that are already in the process of being cared for, shown compassion, and shown a way forward. But those are not just statistics. They're stories of lives changed. Men, women, children who now have shelter, they now have stability, and they have renewed hope. Renewed hope. So many of them felt at one point that they lost their dignity for one reason or another, that it was taken away, and then they engage with those that care. I'll speak specifically for Salvation Army. We stand right in front of them and we remind them of their dignity. We remind them of their worth and their value. And we say we want to walk alongside them, not just point where to go, but we want to walk along with them on that way to sustainability. We've been on the front lines of this transformation every day. Every day we provide more than 400,000 nights of bed and sheltering. Just in LA alone, double that throughout Southern California. Think about that number. That's over 3,000 each night that have a place to rest their head and being reminded that there is a way home. I kept looking over earlier. I don't know what Paula is now, if she had to leave. But Paula, we talked about Bell Shelter earlier. One of the largest shelters in the nation west of the Mississippi. And we get to boast that and be a part of that and see that. And we're very excited about that. Thank you for your leadership in that place. Just today I was thinking about the comprehensive work that takes place there, the mental health counseling and the recovery and the job training and the spiritual care, but also, as it was mentioned, Skid Row, our mobile outreach teams that meet people right where they're at, building trust and guiding them towards housing and healing. Housing and healing. We don't want housing first to just be housing only. We just know that's the first step, but there's a lot more to do in that process. So we've seen the victories firsthand. We've seen families reunited in safe housing. We've seen veterans rediscovering stability. We've seen young adults breaking cycles of poverty through education and workforce development. Each of those is proof that holistic, compassionate care works. But the journey is not done. We don't just come up here and tell stories and feel like we did it. There's still more to be done. The circumstances for our neighbors in need remain fragile. So what do? Yes, we celebrate the victories because every life moved from the streets to safety is sacred. We will also strengthen our resolve. We have to do that, knowing that our work is vital. I know that the work the Salvation Army is doing is vital and irreplaceable in this moment. And we cannot forget that we have to recommit ourselves to this action because we cannot afford to lose ground when so many are actually depending on us. We've now served in 5 different cities in the West Coast. And not one of those cities that we've existed in did I not have an experience like this. Walking down the street, just in my uniform, as fashionable as it might seem. Never thinking that I would have a random person just come up and hug me and hold me longer than what's comfortable. And give me a thank you that I never earned. A tear for something I actually didn't do for them. Recognizing that their life was changed because somebody who was doing the same work that I did, that wore the same fashionable outfit, or at the very least that wore this amazing red shield, did something to transform their life. And I was a representation of that in that moment. Man, what a privilege to receive the thank you from that person for the corporate work that we get to do. The Salvation Army has always believed that hope is greater than fear, that it's greater than despair, that love is stronger than any obstacle. Together, with the support of all the means that we have to make it happen, from the great nonprofit partnerships and the government aids and the assistance and the finances that come and the community engagement and all of the above, we're proving that homelessness is not inevitable. It can be reduced, it can be prevented, and most importantly, lives can be restored. So in the words of St. Oscar Romero, I've been reading some of his stuff lately. He says, aspire not to have more, but to be more. So may we, in this mission we've all aligned ourselves to, continue to be more. To be more compassionate, to be more courageous, and to be more committed. So thank you for walking with us on this journey. Thank you for being hope ambassadors. Let's go forward, not just inspired, but mobilized to be the light of hope for every person still wanting to find their way to a place called home. Thank you for joining us.